Each squad in the Persona series from 3 to 5 is composed by beautiful, fun characters with their own stories. However, some characters are more beautifuler than others. Today I want to compose the ultimate Persona team, choosing my favorite characters from each series and making them into one squad. However, this isn't as easy as it sounds, because what matters more than anything is the chemistry in the group. For example, in Persona 5, Makoto is the alpha smart student council president that takes charge of the group when she's there. In Persona 3, Mitsuru is the alpha smart student council president that takes charge of the group when she's there. While I think Makoto and Mitsuru are both great, having both in the team makes each of them stand out less. So for this video, I'm going to go each of the archetypes present in the game, compare them to the other series counterparts, and go from there. So for each of the characters, we're going to mostly discuss them in a vacuum and not necessarily carry over plot points from other games. For instance, Chie and Yukiko being boys is a thing in Persona 4, but if I were to only choose one of them here, then that friendship wouldn't exist. On the other hand, Makoto having a sister is something that shouldn't change because it's a part of her family instead of being a part of the squad, you know? So plot related points are tricky. Some characters are really impacted by events that happen in their game, but I'll cross that bridge when I get there since the characters I have in mind aren't as impacted by this. Now, before we can start, we gotta agree how many people to have in this team. So Persona 3 has the most party members in this series with a solid 9 or 10 depending how you count it. Persona 4 has the least with 8, and Persona 5 has 10 as well. 3 and 5 again have their special plot thing going on, so with all this considered, I think 8 members for the dream team is fair, and then we'll have like a special bonus 9th member. And between that division, the gender makeup is usually half male and half female, so we'll keep it that way just to maximize that diversity and chemistry. So first, of course, we're gonna start with the MC. Between these three, there's actually not much of a difference. Let's be real. They're all silent, their text options aren't very different. I like Yu the most, but only because he was cool as hell in the animation. In the game though, you could assign them literally any backstory and it'd work just as well because they don't really have a personality, man. Come on, they're silent. We know this. So MC doesn't really matter here, so let's just go with Yu. I think he's neat. Now, for the party itself, let's move on to the best bro character. So the best bro character is typically the male character in the game that you meet very early on and then sticks with you throughout the end. They're usually goofy, funny, hot-headed / stubborn, and above all, loyal. The characters we got for this group therefore are Junpei, Yosuke, and Ryuji. While Junpei is a fantastic character in his own story, I don't think he's a very good bro to the MC. Like, there's so many times that the MC and Junpei have friction, and while it's fine to have disagreements with your friends, the level of the friendship isn't quite as intense between Junpei and P3 MC as it is for the other two fellas. Now, between Yosuke and Ryuji, come on man, this definitely goes to Ryuji for me. Not only do I not like Yosuke because of how much of a dick he is to the other characters, but I think Ryuji is straight up hilarious and has crazy charisma. Ryuji gets along with literally any character in the Persona 5 group. Like, if I think of some random combination like Haru and Yusuke or Futaba and Makoto interacting, it sounds awkward. But pair Ryuji and literally anybody and it's like a perfectly normal, fun conversation that feels natural. Like, Ryuji is perfect in the dream team. Great at being a part of the squad while also strong character-wise. Next character on the list is a token pretty girl in the group that many consider to be the canon love interest, aka the Lover's Arcana. This would be Yukari, Rise, and An. Plot-wise, Yukari is the most notable here. She plays a big daddy role in P3 and is very present in the game. An notably is strong in the beginning, and Rise in the middle, but both kind of fizzle out in how important they are throughout the game. An more so than Rise. While Yukari is strong story-wise, personality-wise, she's not my favorite. I don't think she's very nice or funny, and while she's cool and confident, I don't really like her as a person. An is really nice, but really doesn't play a strong role in Persona 5, and Rise is nice, confident, while also being more present in her game towards the end. She's super alpha, funny, and though she's kind of a simp, I think her presence would be great in the Ultimate Team. She constantly lit in the group with like the King's Game shenanigans, and I think is the most likable of the three, so I'm gonna go with Rise. Then we got the nice quiet girl, the chick who is very sweet and nice, and that kind of makes up their entire personality. Though nothing crazy character-wise, I think it adds a great dynamic to the group that usually balances the intensity of the more energetic characters. This would be between Fuuka, Yukiko, and Haru. Now right off the bat, I'm sure we can agree to dispose of Yukiko. Not only is she the most boring character in the Persona series, half her personality rides on being boys with Chie. While in this universe, we could assume Yukiko is latched on to someone else. I don't want a repeat of that in the Dream Team. So yeah, Yukiko out. Now, I adore both Fuuka and Haru because they do that role of nice girls so well. They're literally both so wholesome and sweet. Like, they have that on lock. Between the two though, I personally like Haru more. Fuuka's great, but her development is notoriously the weakest in Persona 3. While Haru also doesn't have the best arc or screen time, she at least, I can't even lie, man. Listen, both of these characters are relatively minor presences compared to their other counterparts, but I still adore them, and between these two, I adore Haru more, so I'm gonna go with her. Now we got the smart girl character, and wow, there's a lot of girl archetypes in Persona. Here we have the nerd, who is smart, alpha as fuck, but also socially awkward. This would be Mitsuru, Naoto, and Makoto. So these are all fantastic. I feel like no matter who I choose, I'll get roasted. So let's go over each of them to understand better, okay? First is Mitsuru, who I think is the most alpha of these three. Student council president, not as socially awkward, and always a leader in the group in telling them what to do next. Her confidant story is good, and she's always a present figure in the story. While this may be a P3 issue more than a Mitsuru issue, I've always felt that Mitsuru was never really close to the MC. She's cool with Aki and Yukari later down the road, but to me, her personality is pretty meh overall. Like, it's definitely commandeering and intimidating, but more suited to lead a company than a group of friends, you know? Next we got Naoto, detective prince that literally carries in deduction. She's a very interesting character that is probably one of the most unique in the series, and though she's not student council president, she's still very respected in the group for that massive brain. However, she also got the same problem as Mitsuru in that she's not particularly close to anyone. Like, she's present and there during deduction moments, but she always does a backseat role in the social parts where other characters shine. Naoto kind of just does her own thing for the most part, which is cool, but doesn't always make for great chemistry, you know? Lastly, we got Makoto, student council president that is also mad smart and awkward. Crazy, right? Makoto for me is the one that I felt has always been part of the core squad, you know? Not only does she carry like crazy in leadership and planning stuff, but at least she's noticeable during social parts in the game, which is more than I can say for the other two. While Makoto has notoriously a terrible confidant, the growth she has with her sister and the arc revolving around that is one I really enjoy and appreciate in Persona 5. So between the three beasts, I'm gonna have to go with Makoto. Like, yeah, okay, for Makoto, I guess you can say the sister arc might not exist in this new game, but I still feel like she is the most relatable and like not the coolest. She's definitely not the coolest of the three, but I like her the most, and I feel like she could do the best in the group. Don't get me wrong, the other two are top tier characters in their own right, but in a group setting, Makoto is just as smart as the others while having the most potential for group chemistry. Next we got the mascots. Okay, these are usually the animal-like creatures that are goofy in their own way, so Morgana, Teddie, Koro. Aigis can be argued as a mascot, but come on, Aigis different league entirely compared to these three, so she'll come later. I might get pooped on for this, but Koro is instantly out for me. Guys, come on, literally, he doesn't speak. It's not worth it. You can't convince me, okay? So now between Morgana and Teddie, yeah, this is a free Morgana dub. Like, yeah, Morgana's annoying sometimes, and Ryuji exists in this party, so technically it's possible to have a repeat of the cringe arc they had, but come on, man, Teddie is just so annoying. At least Morgana has a semblance of growth in the game while also having that fierce loyalty for MC. Teddie, horny, dumb, has like 10 minutes worth of growth that happened so late in the game and isn't even boys with the MC? Nah, I'm done. Yeah, this is a free win for Morgana. Next we got dude in the group who kind of just does his own thing role. Aki, Kanji, Yusuke. Okay, that label's a stretch. Listen, these three fellas are just so unique. Aki being edge god of the Persona main party, Yusuke being the art fiend, and Kanji the badass beast who is also a softie. Now, amongst these three, Yusuke is likely the most unique, but also my least favorite. I think he's a bit boring, and while his arc is great in the game, my interest in Yusuke plummets after that. The art thing gets to be a bit much, and overall he's kind of meh compared to everyone else, you know? Now between Kanji and Aki, I adore both of these characters. They're both great, but when you think of the party as a whole, I feel like Kanji and Ryuji are very similar, like not only aesthetically, but personality as well, you know? Hot-headed, loyal to the MC, supposed to be the strong guy of the group. While they obviously have their own differences in their own ways, I feel Aki is just so unique that he is a perfect dynamic to add to the role. Like, I truly believe he is unlike anyone else in the series, and his role in the team would be fantastic. Next we got three characters that I honestly couldn't find a label for, but are main characters in the squad. Futaba, Chie, and Ken. Alright, guys. Alright. Futaba and Chie, basically. Man, okay, between these two characters, I adore them both. Chie being my favorite party member in Persona 4, while Futaba being one of the most unique characters ever because of the gamer personality she got going on. And I think that kind of gives away my choice. Listen, I love Chie. She is my favorite character in Persona 4, besides Naoto, and she's a beast. I think she's dope. But that energetic personality she has going on is one that's so similar to Ryuji that I feel Futaba's vibe and unique level of cringe would be such an interesting dynamic. Like, this is such a hard choice for me because I adore Chie. Maybe switch her for Rise, but then the whole unique energy that Rise brings is gone. And listen, the hardest choices require the strongest wills. Futaba, welcome! So that right there is the 8 members. While this would normally be it, we have the opportunity to add a unique 9th character to this party. You know, that one member that is connected to the larger plot as a whole much more deeply than the others. We have 2 from Persona 3 and 2 from 5. Shinji, Aigis, Akechi, and Kasumi. Now, between these 4, if I had to get rid of any, it'd probably be Kasumi. Okay, Kasumi, let's go with Kasumi first. Because although, you know, she's nice and stuff, I think she's the least interesting of these 4. Without giving any spoilers, Akechi and Shinji are similar with their darker undertones for different reasons, but also have vastly different personalities between each other. Aigis is an angel and I adore her, but can you imagine her in a game without the P3 MC? Like, Aigis is okay in a vacuum, but in the context of the Persona 3 story is where she becomes the best. So it's really hard to say which one of these I would want. They all add something so interesting and so unique that it ultimately depends on the story, the plot of the game. And so if we were to keep true to how each of them are in their own game, I'd want Aigis free. These all add so much to their games, but because Aigis ultimately has the most happy association for me amongst all of them, I think it'd be something that would vibe with me that much more since I appreciate that happy undertone more than anything. And so overall, this is the ultimate team. And I know what you're thinking, gosh, there's a lot of Persona 5, I don't know why, but it just is the way it is. And I wouldn't, like, maybe I could change some, like Makoto for Naoto instead, or, you know, add Chie in somewhere, and I would love to do that, but at the same time, it wouldn't be my list if I tried to change it for the sake of changing it. Like, this is honestly my ideal team when I presented with the characters that I had. And so this works, man. I actually really like this, no lie, even though it is a lot of Persona 5. Can you imagine a team with all these in the same game? Oh, insane. The dynamics would be crazy. The personalities work so well. And yeah, PQ2 exists. You know, they're all there. But this as one team, bro, in their own game, their own plot, would be something else entirely. So yeah, a man can dream, but this is my dream team. Let me know who you agree with, disagree with. Who is your dream team? Let me know in the comments. And hey, catch you later. Thank you so much for watching.